What's up, you fools? Sean and Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. The Big Five rehearsed today for the second time, but this is the first time we got to see it. And France was the first one to take the stage, and we got to talk about it. I was going to start the duo, but it's technically 4 people on stage. It's Alvan and Ahez with Fulenn, and they bring their A game? What is going on? Sean, what are your thoughts from today's rehearsals?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely brought their A game today. If you've watched the national final performance, which I'm sure you have, this is not going to be groundbreaking for you. There's no major changes to anything. They've just basically ported the national final performance to the bigger stage and just, made it a better production. And it really, really works. I think people are probably worried about the staging being too dark with this, but it's just so effective on screen. And almost the black sun that we keep talking about in the background actually really accentuates this performance. So works really well. I love these sort of Breton Celtic kind of patterns that are swirling around on the floor. Really makes the performance so dynamic. The fire pits make a contrast in the colors on the stage as well. And the guys are really bringing their vocal and, charisma to this performance as well. Faultless in terms of the vocals and, really connecting well with the cameras. So there's a lot to like here, France. If you're a fan of this song, you're really going to enjoy this performance. Probably a few camera issues maybe to iron out, but there's nothing major here. They did a great job.
Yep, I do think that this, again, think national final staging on the Eurovision stage. They just took advantage of what is available to them. And the biggest thing I want to point out is, there are a lot of performances where the kinetic sun is kind of taking away from the backdrop. Here comes France and actually uses that to their advantage, because it's basically a green sun, and then a green fire that comes out of it, and it looks actually really effective. And then have 2 other green sun circles around it as well on the other sides of the LED screen. It looks so good. It's like, I don't even know. I don't think that we're going to use the LED side of it. This is actually exactly how they envision it. So they're just like, sucks to be you, everybody else. This is how we're going to do it. And it was beautiful to watch. But yes, everything you said, I apply here as well. I think they're already comfortable. There's some camera things you mentioned about, but the energy is right. And most people will see this for the very first time. Why have to reinvent everything if what they've done in the national final is already working quite well? And it has a lot of dark energy that I'm totally digging. And there will be even more energy in the actual when the show comes around. So I'm not worried about that. But considering this was the second time we've seen it, the second rehearsal, I should say, this is already looking pretty good. This could have been already something like that could have used, one of them will be used as backup performance if for some reason they cannot go on stage next Saturday. So I'll keep that in mind. So we feel really good about what we saw. In terms of changing, you mentioned something about camera angles. Anything else you can think of?
Well, just on the camera angles, just to sort of embellish the point, it's not anything major, like I said. It's just there's a few shots from sort of the side of the stage that sweep, that just don't quite really bring it together. A lot of these shots are intimate, and the camera work is like messy, but it's like by design. And I think it really works for sort of the chaos of the forest rave that we've got going on with France this year. So the camera work is going to look messy intentionally, but there are some camera angles where even with that in mind, you can see that there's a little bit of an issue, minor tweaks. Other than that, I think they're almost good to go. To be fair, they bring their A game on the performance in terms of their charisma and their stage presence, which I know a lot of people were worried about in the pre-parties. But the pre-parties are one thing. The big Eurovision production in the arena, totally different, story. So I don't think the French fans need to worry too much about, Alvan and Ahez and their part of the bargain. They've brought everything they can with this, and, They do a really good job. I think you can be really proud. There's nothing really major I would change from this.
Right. No, and I completely agree. And the only change that will happen, that is also not a fair thing to point out, because it's a rehearsal, is once they actually have an audience and they can feed off that energy, that intensity will even grow, because I need a little bit more intense, but I'm not worried about it, because again, there was no one in the arena and they were all focusing on, camera this, camera that, fine. So as long as you bring it on the night where it counts, and I know they will, I think this is going to look really, really, really good, friends. I think you're good to go. But go ahead and watch that clip on YouTube and let us know what your thoughts are based on your short impression. I know it's only 30 seconds on the whole package, but we still want to know. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and we'll be back with the next video soon.